So with Brazilian waxing, there was a time where I shaved down there and it was a lot of work and it was uncomfortable when it started growing back. And shaving is just ancient, ancient ways of taking care of your hoo-ha. So if you are like completely done with shaving, you want to just explore different ways to take care of your flower down there. Getting your Brazilian waxed or Brazilian waxing done is great. And if you haven't had that done yet, you should definitely go to your nearest esthetician or maybe a salon that specializes in Brazilian waxing. I know that there's plenty of services that offer Brazilian waxing. It is definitely one of those things where a lot of women need that service. And I have fallen into the trap of relying on these salons to take care of these necessities that once never used to be a need, and now it's just one of those things where I can't live without it, And so I'm sure that if you're watching this video, you're either thinking about getting a Brazilian or you're thinking about doing it at home by yourself, and you kind of have some experience already with having someone else do it for you. And I've been doing my own Brazilian waxing for about, how long now? 2 years. 2 years. So 2 years, and I've used about 3 different types of products. I've used honey, or is it the honey, like that honey wax, sugar waxing. I use that. My initial esthetician, who I was going through for about 7 or 8 years, used to use honey. It was like one of those things where it's like a blob, and you use that same blob over and over again. And it was, the whole thing about it was that it was chemical free. It's all natural. It was literally just sugar, water, and that was it. That was literally the chemicals used, or the ingredients. And it's supposed to be better for like ingrowns and less irritation down there. So I did try to do that same, what was it? What was the one that I used? I got it from Amazon. It's like Gia something. And I didn't really like it because it was messy. I felt like it was just kind of falling everywhere, and it was just like gooey, and like, how am I supposed to work with something like that? And then finally I started using the Bliss Poetic waxing kit, which I die for, guys, because at first it was actually pretty pricey, and I got it from Ulta initially, and I did some research on the kind of ratings it got about 2 years ago, and initially it was priced at about $45, and it came with more material, like more in the cup. I think the portions were higher, and it came with like more other things that came with it that wasn't necessarily needed. But now I've noticed that it's the price has gotten lowered to about $24.99, and I think I've also seen it like for $12.99 some places, and it probably had gotten lower because maybe it wasn't as popular. But for me, the Bliss Poetic waxing kit is super amazing. It's a hard wax, and it's blue, and you just need a microwave to heat it up, and the cup that actually comes with it is microwavable, and the actual cup is about this. That was how much wax came in the cup. And this amount actually lasts me for 3 or 4 uses, which is amazing because, if you get yourself waxed at a place, you pay about $50 to $60 depending on the quality of the wax, and then on top of that you tip them. So every time I would go 4 to 6 weeks, I would drop $60, 60 or something even more, including tip. And then I'd notice that sometimes I would kind of almost wait a week more, or kind of time it where, it's not during my period, or it's just so many like time factors that became uncomfortable for me, because the longer your hair grows, anyone knows that if you get yourself waxed and it continues to grow longer, it becomes really uncomfortable. And I hated that I had to wait on that, and I hated that it was expensive. I didn't like the time like that I had to figure out, like scheduling it. And now I can either buy it for $24 and make it last for 3 or 4 sessions, and it's just one of the best things in the world. And I don't really wax anywhere else. I just literally use it for down there. And one of the things that I realized also is that the more frequently you wax, the less hair you get that comes back. And it's easier when you wax yourself, because you can almost do it every 2 weeks if you wanted to. If you saw like a few coming in and you just want to be clear of any hair, you can just go in and wax right before work, right before the gym, right before the pool. Super convenient. I absolutely love it. And I also feel like I'm kind of freeing myself from like these little things that just kind of it's like you're forced to spend all this money to maintain your womanhood. And one of the biggest things too is that I realize that I'm huge on like learning how to do things at home, so that I don't have to spend like hundreds of dollars at a salon, and also like just to put the power in someone else's hands, to just go get something simple done. So I really am grateful for the lessons I've learned throughout my Brazilian waxing. It's really interesting how I feel like it really shows like the strength of a woman if they can pull their own puberty hair off of them, and if you can like really finish it off. Like, I have a girlfriend years ago when I had put it on my Instagram story that I purchased this box of wax. And she also gets her thing Brazilian wax as well. So she's like, let me know how it goes because it's so expensive. I wonder if I can do this shit on my own too. I go, okay, great, I'll let you know. And I go, oh my God, you know, I gave her all the fucking amazing reviews and how it was kind of hard and then blah, 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 blah. So she goes and gets it and she tells me she quit halfway through. She blames it on skin irritation and that it was just not going well for her. Now, granted, it's definitely not going to go well the first time because you've never done it, you know, and you kind of go in it with some fear, some anxiety. You're kind of sweating, like just the whole situation is a stressful situation. So it just really shows like your ability to finish and pull through and complete a task, right? Anybody who can complete a difficult task, I think, is great. Like if you can do that, kudos for you. You are definitely one of the strongest women I know. I mean, I know that it took me some time to practice, but I was so determined to, you know, just keep doing this shit on my own. Like I want to fucking wax my own vagina. And I hate like having a spread eagle for some random person who ain't my man. And it's just kind of weird. So anyway, that was my little rant on getting my whole Brazilian waxing. If you do have any questions, let me know. I absolutely love this. And I hope every woman decides to do this on their own too. And I do have a pre and post checklist linked below. Just subscribe. It'll ask you to put an email. Go ahead and put that in there and you can download the checklist. So I will talk again soon. Have an amazing day.